welcome back. I'm Kirsten from JK Fiber Arts, and today we are going to continue on our turtle journey with Turkish spindle. So what I have here is the turtle. What I have here is the turtle, and it gives me a center pull ball, and the center is here. And then the other one goes around the outside. And I'm going to show you how I hold this so that you can do a two-ply from this ball right in your hand here. No lazy Kate required. Last week you had plenty of time now to get cracking on those turtles. Hopefully you got, you could probably easily do maybe 2 ounces if you do about 10 or 15 minutes a day. You could probably do 2 ounces in a week. And if you become obsessed like I am, I do a lot I mean, it still takes me a while. I mean, this is way slower than using a spinning wheel, but it is very, very wonderful. I really, really love the way this works for me. It's so meditative, and I just enjoy it so much. Right now, I would enjoy it if I could get some draw on this thing. What's the haps? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this with my hand like this, and I'm going to allow this one to rotate around the outside, and this one is going to go out the front here, or out the center of the ball, I mean, sorry. I'm going to start with these two ends like this. And I'm going to put them through our little loop here, our leader. And when I do this, I like to put my hand, so I'm going to put my fingers between here, and it's just going to be resting in my palm. And this should very slowly rotate here. So I have my, it's also helpful if I take it off of the twist holder. So I am letting this ball sort of rotate in my hand here. And I do want to make sure I get enough twist on this. I may not have enough twist coming on here. I think I'm going to have to increase my twist just a little bit here. Increase my speed. And look at how easy this is. It is very, very simple. And I'm very lightly holding the ball. And sometimes, depending on how we're doing here, I'll get a little bit better grip, and I'll let my finger kind of slide through here. And let's take a quick stop and make sure that we're getting enough twist, or not too much twist on this. So, yeah, I think this looks pretty good. It's got a little extra twist in it here. And this is how you do it. And it is really, really, really straightforward. Now, I don't know what you do if you drop the ball and it's like all big tangle. Thankfully, I've never had that happen yet. Knock on wood. See, I probably just jinxed myself. But I have not had any issues with tension or anything like that. And if I do need tension control, I just keep my finger in between there, and I can kind of control the tension as it comes off of the ball. This is going to be a very fine two-ply. You can see I lost a little bit of my ball here, but even so, it's not tangling at all. And I'll keep doing this. And that's all the excitement there is for this. I cannot tell you enough how much I've come to really, really love this Turkish spindle. I really like it a lot. It is so meditative, so peaceful. So I'm going to finish this one up. And, well, actually, I'll stay with it a little longer because you want to see how it gets, because I understand that a lot of times people have trouble when they get to the end. So what I'll do is I'm just going to keep going like this, and then I'll just tune right back in here when I get towards the end, when it gets difficult for folks. And I know you're looking at that tangle right there in my hand saying that is not going to be okay, but guess what? It's going to be totally fine. I'm just letting it come out. And if I need more tension on it, like right there, I just use my finger to hold the tension on it. And there we are past that point where the wind was a little bit wonky there. I will tell you, I took this off of my Turkish spindle, gosh, maybe 3 weeks ago. And I literally had it thrown on in a Ziploc bag with the remainder of the Rollags because I didn't spin it all yet. So it's just been rolling around in a bag, which should tell you how sturdy this is and how good this ball is. So I am going to keep on keeping on here. So I really like this. So the reason I'm not too concerned about that little, it looks like it's very twisty, but I'm looking at the angle of ply here, and that angle of ply is fine. That is not more than 30 degrees. May not be, it's probably more like 25, 20. So we will check back in with you here in just a bit when I get a little further along so you can see how this goes. And it's also really easy to stop. You just set it down on your table and it still looks like a turtle. We are down to this much left. Still, the ball is holding together. You can see the size of the hole there. So let's continue on. You see this in the final stretch here. I thought I was going to get to the end of this faster. When you see this video, I am going to be in Canada. At least if I finish it. I might be just getting back from Canada. But my plan is to have this finished before I go, so I have a video each week. We shall see if I make that happen, because we're leaving in 3 days. But you can see how easy it is to get this off of the ball here. And of course, the nice thing about doing the center pool ball is that you will have no leftover. And I prefer to do, these are the two ways that I do the Turkish spindle, because I don't want to waste any of it, because it takes so long to do it. I don't want to have anything left over. So I am going to probably chain ply or two-ply almost every single thing I do on the Turkish spindle. And it makes it particularly lovely from the center pool ball. I was going to say, if anything, as this ball gets smaller, it gets easier. And you don't have to have a lazy Kate or anything to do this one. Now, when I do the chain ply, I do use a Kate, because chain ply takes, 2 active hands. And it still looks like it has a little bit of a stripy quality to it. We'll see whenever I skein it up what it looks like. Oops. I dropped it on the floor. It's so small now that I have to be careful it doesn't fly out of my hand. And the way I'm doing this is I'm winding it, I'm sort of like going over and flipping the front over. So when it's getting thinner, I kind of change from my kind of rotating it in my hand to sort of flipping it, because you don't want to just pull it tight. I want it to actually feel like it's coming out untangled and loose, which is what it is doing. And here we are at the end. Put a little more twist in that. All right. And I love the way this looks. So let me just let that wind on, and we're set. So I will get this into soak, and I will be right back to show you the chain ply. Before I go too far here, I want to show you how I set this up. So I have these 3D printed lazy Kates that come with, actually it's separate, buy separate for the EEW6. And this is their newest iteration, and I really do like it. I wanted to show you the difference in the spindles here. So this is the thicker one, and that's the one that goes in the bobbin. And I use that when I'm plying and when I'm winding onto my nitty knotty. So the way that works is I'm just gonna screw this in right here like so. And my bobbin goes on like this. And I use this little rubber washer on the top so it just doesn't slide up when I'm winding it on. And this has a little brake band on it. And you can adjust it here. That's kind of tight. But that is how that's better. That's how I use this one. And I'm going to take that over and wind it on my nitty knotty. So the next thing I wanted to show you was this is the one for, it's just a very thin spindle. And I like this one better because for the turtle, and let me show you why. So the hole in the turtle is usually a lot smaller. So I'm going to take this off of here. This is what's left of my tail here on my turtle. Here is the big ta-da moment. Ready? I've never filled a turtle this big. So what I'm going to do is take this out. And the way to do that is usually I end up having to tap it on something. But I don't want to tap it on anything hard. And all I do is I tap it on the floor like this until it comes loose. So now this is loose, I'm taking it out. And if you remember back to last week's video, these arms here just slide out. So I'm going to slide this out like that. And this one's going to slide out. There we are. So now, if you remember when we first started this, we put the end from the bottom to the top and anchored it in there. So it should be coming out the top here, although sometimes I find it in the bottom. So let's see if we can find it here. So what I'm going to do, usually I can find the end here. I didn't leave a long enough tail apparently, so I can't find it, and I am not going to risk screwing that up. So I just stuck my spindle back through to see if I could pull out my end, and I don't see it. So I'm just going to put it on here. There we go. So now I have this on here, and we're going to start with the outside end instead of, here's my outside end, and we're just going to take it off this way for the chain plying. The center pull is way better, but it will work to do it this way. And what I'm going to do is the same way I do this for all of my chain plying. I'm going to have my leader here tied into a loop. So I have my leader loop here. And we are going to be plying in the S direction. Let's make sure I have some draw, good. And I'm going to take my leader here and I'm going to tie this into a knot. And I usually just break this little extra bit off so it doesn't leave too big of a tail. Now I take the leader in my left hand and my single in my right hand. And I pass that loop through this loop. And I just draw it like that. And I'm just going to draw up like that. And away we go. Would have been super cool though if I would have done it on a center pull, but you know what? It was not worth the risk of collapsing that ball trying to find the end. I tried for a minute or so and I realized that discretion was the better part of valor in this moment. But oh, look at how good this looks. Oh, I do love it. Oh, it's so pretty. This is going to be gorgeous. I'm very excited about it. And I do not even have my break or anything on the bobbin back here. I'll have to pay particularly close attention if I plan on doing another giant bobbin's worth of stuff, that I make sure I leave a long enough leader. I mean, a long enough tail, sorry. And what I'm basically doing here, because I'm not doing the center pull ball, I've moved my lazy Kate up forward so I can pull kind of straight up from the ball. That way it doesn't get caught on the center, on the spindle. Usually I like to make bigger loops here, but I'm just going to take what I can get right now. Let's take a look at this and see what's the haps. Oh, I see what happened. Okay. We may have to flip it. I may have to flip it when I get to each level. It is a bit annoying. Oh, I'm loving all these Tweety bits coming in here. My ply is a little bit more annoying and fiddly because if you have the center pull, it just comes right out the center. And like I said, it's just disappointing, but lesson learned. Make the tail a little bit longer so I can find it at the end. I think it was because mostly I have such a large turtle that it got lost on the inside. I hadn't really considered that. But next time I will know, and we will not make that same mistake. This is just a standard chain ply now, and I will continue on with this. And if I run into any problems, I'll video that for you because, you know, problem solving is a good thing. It really is a beautiful yarn, though, even if it is a little bit disappointing that I don't have my center pull ball, but it is coming off the bobbin pretty nicely now. Hi, Vinny. What's up? What's up, Vinny Fan, huh? Hi, baby boy. You want to come help me spin, huh? Lovely, lovely. Here we have the final yarn. This is the tulips. I really, really love it. And you can see here, it's actually a really nice even ply. I did not have much of a problem. All I had to do was just flip the center pull ball, which was not a center pull ball, over periodically when it would get on the bottom just to keep it from getting stuck. And it worked really well. It wasn't too bad. And then this is the two-ply, the Ice Princess. And this one, this one is lovely as well. It looks really good. So this was just this was probably about an ounce to an ounce and a half, and this was 2.5 ounces. So I thought it was more like 3, but it was 2.5. So there you have it, and I love them both. So I've already started my next Turkish spindle. So I am pretty sure I want to chain ply that one. So I will definitely do the center pull ball for you next time, and it will come from the center. I will see you next time. Until then, spin happy.